What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Offside Shout. Make sure to go ahead and check out my socials at _diagrams on Twitter, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into the news as usual, as Thiago Alcantara speaks on United move. So basically, Thiago is on international duty with Spain, and, during the interview, the reporter had basically asked, what's going on with his future? He said, hey, look, right now Bayern is my home, as you'd expect. A very diplomatic answer from Thiago Alcantara. And then when they went to go ahead and, press to see, hey, are you going to be playing for Manchester United or Liverpool? He walked away and said, ciao. So it was kind of just an interesting story. He's just not giving anything up. I still fully expect him to be going to Liverpool. So not a whole lot there. Alexis Sanchez came out, said that he wanted to leave and go back to Arsenal after his first training. Yeah, we know, because you're a mercenary, homie. Alexis Sanchez never even gave his all for Manchester United, and now we know that. We knew that for a fact. But I'll go ahead and point out, on the other hand, that I don't entirely blame him. Sorry, my camera's all fucked up. I don't entirely blame him for not wanting to stay at Manchester United. He probably got into the dressing room, went to training, and Mourinho, by that point, had already completely destroyed the morale of the club. I'm not going to put all the blame on Mourinho, but for the most part, Mourinho was the main problem there. And yeah, I totally get it. But at the same time, you're getting paid a lot of money, so, suck it up, Buttercup, and do your best. I guess I'll give him some leeway in the fact that I do think that he did at least make somewhat of an attempt to kind of get back into form and play. But I don't know. He's just kind of a rat, isn't he? All right, Rafael aims ghost jibe at Alexis Sanchez. Yeah. So basically, after the Alexis Sanchez stuff came out, Rafael, our old Brazilian right back, came out and was like, hey, maybe he saw a ghost. Maybe that's why he got spooked and wanted to leave. So it's kind of funny just seeing old Manchester United players coming out and taking shots back at him. Yeah, they've named their wants and fears. Manchester United fans have made their demands. Don't care what our fan base says. How about some non-Messi transfer news? Luis Suarez to Juventus, Manchester United, back in for Sancho. Not just back in for Sancho. We've always been in for Sancho. Get that shit straight. NBC's been posting some nonsense lately. Of course, it is just a headline. I feel bad for writers, because often journalists write really good articles, and then the editor comes in and completely fucks up their article with some clickbait story. I guess it works, though, because I guess it gets people to click, so whatever. Suarez is looking at going to Juventus, though we'll get into it, but Lionel Messi is probably staying at Barcelona. So we'll see if Suarez goes anywhere. We'll see if the club tries to force Suarez out still. But yeah. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pictured at Carrington today. The boss has a lot to smile about this week. Happy Friday. I don't know if he has a lot to smile about. I think he got one of his players. I think he got a good goalkeeper tied down to a long-term contract. And I think he still knows that he needs 2 or 3 players. So I don't know if he's actually that stoked, but who is that posted by? United stand. Yeah, well, they do care, but I'm not buying it. Luis Enrique blames English media for David De Gea form. No, Luis Enrique. Not at all. But at the same time, I do support De Gea and Enrique's comments and the fact that he's basically saying that every time De Gea makes a mistake, it's frontline news. It, covers everything, and it's like the most important thing in the world. Whereas when he plays brilliantly, like he did for Spain yesterday, it's not covered. It's basically, they just sweep it under the rug and say, oh, well, that's what we expect. It's like, be balanced. Be balanced, you guys. Report, Sancho to Man United held up by fees and wages. Okay? That's been reported for 2-3 weeks now. Chelsea wanted to sign Sergio Romero from United. I don't know if that's true, but I mean, I could see us. They can have him because they're gonna have to pay a lot of money to get him, and he's not worth that much. So New Leeds United FC record signing Rodrigo says he's looking forward to coming up against Manchester United more than any other club next season. Reckons he'll score a few past close friend and United keeper David De Gea in the Premier League. Banter's already started. This is not good. Yeah, when Werner scored against De Gea last night, Twitter blew up, and it's like, dude, whatever. Raphael on Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United. Maybe he's all goes. Yeah, we already covered that. Van de Beek, everything was agreed with Real Madrid. We all knew that. But we gotcha. Lionel Messi has confirmed he is staying at Barcelona. So, just to go ahead and go back, we already knew this was going to happen. What happened is that he had a contract, and he had a clause in his contract that he could leave at the end of each season. There's a month-long period at the end of each season in which he could terminate his contract. Like, he, as a player, could terminate his contract and then move for free to another club. But since the clause wasn't actually worded as at the end of the season, it was worded as between, like, the dates of June 1st and July 1st, you can leave. I'm not sure the actual dates were. It wasn't, it was null and void by the time that the season finished. So timing on that was just unlucky for Lionel. But at the same time, you have to honor your contract. And I think Barcelona is making a huge mistake not letting him go. I don't necessarily think letting him go for free is the answer. But just getting some money, getting whatever you can. He's probably worth 150, 200 million euros. But getting any money, because you're just keeping, granted, you're keeping one of the best players of all time at your club, but you're keeping him there unhappy, and it doesn't make any sense. You could do a lot for a rebuild if you were to sell him on at this point. But yeah, I guess they're not going to go ahead and, well, sure as fuck, they're not going to listen to me. But at the same time, this is coming out from a bunch of people, and I think that they know in their hearts that the right thing to do is sell Messi. The issue is their fans, because their fans don't want him to go necessarily. I think some of them do now because they feel disrespected, but it was just a mess. Lionel Messi may well get his reputation back, but as of this moment, I actually think that Messi's legacy is a little bit destroyed, with Barcelona fans at least. So, bummer, dude. Let's see. Talent and tragedy mark Maradonis road to Old Trafford. Manchester United fans think Levitt is Matt's successor. They're not the same player or the same kind of player, but Levitt's a good player. He played really well for Wales yesterday. He played a full 90 minutes. So that's really good to see a young Manchester United player getting a full cap for their international team. That's awesome to see. McTominay dealing with injuries is tough. I hope he gets to play for Scotland today. I'm probably going to be watching Holland because I want to see if Van de Beek gets on the pitch. I want to go ahead and watch him a bit now that he's officially a Manchester United player. But I also will probably go ahead and watch back the Scotland game because Scotty McTominay is definitely one of their best midfielders. So, yeah, go ahead and do that. Can Solskjaer keep up that form streak? If we get new players, we can. New Manchester United kit. United have been heavily linked with the Spaniard, Thiago. After my first training session at United, I asked, yeah. All right, that's enough of Manchester United. As you can see, we're just repeating stories at this point. But a little bit of interesting news for United there. Go ahead and take a quick look at Arsenal. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot that's really that interesting. Willian's first session with Arsenal. Willian gets started at Arsenal. Gabriel is excited by partnership with Saliba. I think that will be really interesting. They're both very young. It will be interesting to see what happens and how they pair up. If they get to play in a 2 in a back 4, or if they end up playing a back 3 with like David Luiz, Saliba, and Gabriel. It'll be really interesting to see how they decide to line up anyhow. All right, players, young player of the year, Abraham, Alexander-Arnold, Greenwood, Mount, Rashford, Saka. PFA young player of the year nominees. Who would it be? Nominees, come on. Alexander-Arnold's going to get it, but I don't think Rashford or Alexander-Arnold should actually be there. And questionably, I guess Tammy Abraham should be there, actually. But Same time. Cairo just confirmed they are considering Lucas Torreira, but he's not the only target. Also, Fiorentina are in talks to sign him from Italy to Premier League. Rogerio Sassuolo to join Newcastle on next day's done deal. All right. Just normal Arsenal business. Nothing's really happening. They're looking at Aouar and Partey. So we'll see if more stuff comes out about them. Havertz is officially done, by the way. Not officially, but he will be official in the next coming days. Whatever. Chelsea want to sign United Sergio Romero. Yeah, like I said earlier, totally. Yeah, you could do it. He's worth $8 million for Chelsea. You guys can pay $16 million. Still a good deal, in my opinion. I mean, you need a goalkeeper that badly. Has knee issues, so you might have to navigate that. But you can play him for, half the season for sure. So, you could probably get away with playing Sergio Romero in most Premier League games. But I do think that if that knee issue flares up, yeah. But still, feel free to buy him. Just $16 million for you guys, because you guys have the money, and yeah, we all know. All right, Kai Havertz has left Stuttgart headquarters of the national team to clarify matters surrounding a potential move to Chelsea. This took place after a discussion with Bayern 04 and DFB leadership. Yep. So, confirmation of Kai Havertz transfer from Bayer Leverkusen to Chelsea expected in next 24 hours. Fee just above $70 million plus add-ons. Medical not done yet. Expected he would be an unused sub in Germany versus Spain last night to avoid risk of injury, and that happened. Cool. It's from David Ornstein, so that's pretty damn reliable. Yeah, so Chelsea news for today. Havertz leaving Germany training to go do his medical and become a Chelsea player. Barcelona reportedly confident of Wijnaldum deal. All right. Works continue at Melwood ahead of the season. Liverpool told to pay 45 million euros for Nuno Mendes. I don't know anything about him. You guys go ahead and tell me something about him, or I'll look it up in a little bit. Let's see. 30 Designs, don't care. Thiago Bayern is my home. Won't discuss his future while he's on Spain duty. Barcelona confident of signing Wijnaldum before deadline day. Liverpool's signing will make Jurgen Klopp's team much more unpredictable next season. All right, so basically, in short, nothing's going to happen with Thiago until after the international break, which ends, I believe, next week. I can't remember when the last day is. Actually, we can go ahead and pull that up real quick. And then he will be moving to, so it ends on the 8th of September. So yeah, Tuesday next week, he'll be going back to Bayern, and then we'll be trying to figure out whether or not, or where he goes next, because he's definitely going at this point. And also, Wijnaldum is leaving. Official, Messi stays at Barcelona. I already talked about this. The whole thing was a hoax. The whole thing was political. He probably did have a moment of weakness and wanted to leave, but it was never going to happen because Barcelona let Messi go. There was going to be riots outside the new camp, and there's just no chance that he was ever going to leave. He has a release clause for 700 million euros. He's too important to that club, and he basically just threw his fucking toys out. So, I mean, I respect Messi, but he totally bottled this entire thing. He completely bottled it. I can't believe, with City fans right now, it's hilarious. Hilarious that you guys, like, if that's true, because I don't think it's true, by the way, for City fans. I don't think you guys are overreacting to this. It's absolutely absurd that you guys would get Messi. It was a possibility, but I think that it topped out at about a 5% chance. Even with your owners, it probably topped out at about a 5% chance. So, how we can have a normal and calm negotiation with Manchester City to sell Koulibaly? They won't talk directly with us because of the Jorginho deal. So, if that's true, Man City, if you guys want the player, Napoli doesn't need to fucking do this. You know what I mean? Like, that's so dumb. Like, do you send an intermediary into the grocery store to buy your stuff because you're too offended by the cashier? Maybe, but I actually probably some people do, but that doesn't make any sense. They have what you need. You need to go get it. Fucking, but these fucking rich Sikhs or whatever you want to call them from Qatar, these royal families have so much fucking ego. Like, it would not have surprised me at all if, because United basically wrote to the Federation of Arbitration for Sport, over the Manchester City thing, it would not have surprised me if Manchester City literally sent Albanian gangsters to Greece to fuck with Harry Maguire. Like, that's the limit. And before people will say, oh, that didn't happen, I agree. I don't think that actually happened. But this family has a long history of doing exactly shit like that. Absurd shit. That sounds like fucking crazy talk, but they do it. They do it all the fucking time. They probably have like 10 of these fucking situations going on right now. They're fucking insane. These royal families think they're from God and shit. They're absolutely insane. So you can say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. But no, they literally think that they control the world. And they're not wrong. They kind of do. I mean, it's ridiculous. Dylan Levy puts forward proposal that will see fans return. Yeah, so this is actually really cool as long as it works and as long as it's safe, everyone. But I think Levy and Tottenham are communicating with the powers that be over getting around 50% of their stadium opened up for games. This will be massive. I'm all for it as long as it's safe because it brings the money back in and it helps the league and it helps the economy and it helps everything. So, okay, cool. That's where we're going to go ahead and end it for today. Make sure to go ahead and check out my socials at _diagrams on Twitter. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you guys all later. Peace.